Jasmine Crockett says, "Do not bend. You allow them to go and wage their threats. If everybody starts to bend, for sure, what is left of our democracy will be gone." And unfortunately, that is exactly what he wants. The U.S. Capitol, a stage for a spectacle that felt more like a prize fight than a hearing. Bright television lights bounced off polished desks. Every seat was packed, every camera locked on the clash about to unfold. Jasmine Crockett entered first, a folder tight in her grip, her face set like carved stone. Across the chamber lounged Barron Trump, heir to wealth and arrogance, his smirk daring her to falter. "He has been talking about you a lot. He seems sort of somewhat obsessed with you, and likes to hurl a lot of insults. Your way, like, yeah. So, here's the thing. I want the American people to know that when you stand up to a bully, you win." Barron didn't talk policy. He went for the throat. "You are nothing but the daughter of a filthy ghetto," he said, voice sharp enough to cut steel. "Without pity votes for your skin color, you'd still be a third-rate lawyer. This seat is theater, and you, Congresswoman, are the showpiece." The words detonated in the room. Reporters froze mid-keystroke. Lawmakers stiffened, cameras zoomed in on Jasmine. Searching for a crack, Barron leaned back, smug, convinced he'd ended her career in one strike. But Jasmine only rose slowly, deliberately. No yelling, no flinch. Her voice rolled out like distant thunder. "Let me take you back," she began, "to Selma, Alabama, 1965. Under the leadership of Dr. Martin Luther King and under the presidentially ordered protection of the National Guard and soldiers of the United States Army, the long-awaited, long-delayed Freedom March to Montgomery began." She painted the bridge with words. Peaceful marchers demanding the right to vote, met with clubs, tear gas, trampling horses. If at every stage of America's civil rights movement, there was a king front and center, there was nearly always a young prince alongside, John Lewis. She named John Lewis, skull fractured, but spirit unbroken. "I am not here because of quotas," she said, each word a hammer blow. "I am here because blood was spilled for democracy, because bones were broken so we could stand free. Their light will never go out. Not for you, not for your insults, not for your arrogance." The chamber held its breath. Then a single clap cracked the silence. Another followed. Applause rolled through the room like a rising tide. Barron's smirk faltered. Cameras caught every twitch as confidence drained from his face. Continuously put out there was rhetoric that specifically targeted people of color. And so it is unfortunate that even our colleagues could not see how harmful his rhetoric was specifically to us. He tried a final jab, touching. "But the past doesn't feed the present. Power still belongs to men like me." Jasmine didn't move. She met him with a silence so sharp it felt like a blade. No words, just the weight of history behind her eyes. And in that heavy quiet thicker than any shout, Barron Trump realized he'd already lost. A lot of people kind of look at this and be like, well, this is a Texas problem. No, it's the all of us problem. It's the entire country as well as the world that needs to be concerned. So, these guys don't play by any rules. They break everything. The hearing room in 2025 might as well have been a gladiator arena. Every breath of the packed chamber was broadcast to millions. Social feeds lit up. She said nothing but said everything. Barron shifted, crossed and uncrossed his legs, tapped in nervous rhythm. The smirk twitched, then cracked. Then Jasmine moved. "Mr. Chairman, please switch on the main screen." The scoreboard-sized display blinked awake. October 14th, 2023. Ocean Vista Estate, Palm Beach. Music thumped. 17-year-old Barron swayed in a tuxedo, a red cup in hand, mocking a black classmate's cadence. Then looked into the camera and said, clear as glass, "We have to keep the schools clean. We cannot let black people ruin them." Right now, what they are going to do is they are going to further dilute the voices of black and brown people so that they can accomplish this sinister goal. The chamber erupted, gasps, whispers, reporters firing camera shutters like hail. Lawmakers traded looks of fury and disbelief. So, we look for ways, fraud and abuse. We try to make things more efficient, and we try to hear what the American people have to say. The clip ended on young Barron's drunken smirk. The lights felt harsher, the marble colder. "It was just a youthful joke. Who hasn't made mistakes?" he stammered, chopping the air as if he could slice outrage into pieces. Jasmine stepped forward, voice stripped to steel. A mistake is when you fall and get back up. This is belief, and you've just proven it, still lives in you. The room went still as stone. Even the cameras seemed to lean closer. Listen, as American people, we should all be in unison, no matter if you're a Democrat, Republican, or Independent. When it comes down to cracking down on something like this, Barron forced a shrug. Nobody's perfect. Not me, not you. Do you think you're any different? Her answer was silence, predatory, deliberate. She stared, eyes like forged steel, until he looked away. Social media exploded again. Her eyes are killing him more than words ever could. Every nervous flick of his gaze, every twitch of his jaw was caught on camera. The chairman's gavel finally cracked the air like a gunshot. But the damage was done. Barron Trump, so loud and entitled at the start, sat cornered and small. Jasmine Crockett hadn't needed to raise her voice. She had turned history, truth, and a silence sharp as a blade, into the most devastating rebuttal of all. In 2025, the Capitol hearing room turned into a televised battlefield. Barron Trump arrived dripping arrogance, mocking Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett as a quota hire and a showpiece. Jasmine rose without a tremor and summoned history instead of fury, recounting Selma's blood-soaked bridge and the right to vote paid for in broken bones. Her vow to guard that light drew thunderous applause and left Barron's smirk cracked. He tried to recover power still belongs to men like me, but she met him with a silence so heavy it pinned him in place. Viewers across the nation leaned forward as the cameras caught every beat of sweat and twitch of his jaw. Then Jasmine broke the hush with proof. A giant screen lit up with footage of a teenage Barron at a Palm Beach party mocking a black classmate and vowing to keep schools clean. Gasps rippled through the chamber. Barron stammered that it was just a joke. But Jasmine pressed on, reading a treasured letter her father had carried from Justice Thud Marshall. The right to vote is a permanent oath. No one, not power, not money can take it away. Her voice cut like steel as she vowed to defend that oath against hate. Still not finished, she revealed a second video of Barron boasting that AI must maintain white advantage. He was exceeding his emergency powers. He was misusing his emergency powers to try to engage in this. Anyway, the room erupted. Lawmakers pounded desks. Cameras flashed like lightning. Barron's bravado collapsed. He stood only to keep from looking defeated, then fled the chamber under the weight of her silence and the nation's judgment. While Jasmine remained steady beneath the lights, victorious without ever raising her voice. Reporters typed like they were catching lightning, keys clattering as the chamber held its breath. Members of Congress stayed standing, palms pressed to desks, unwilling to sit on a moment this seismic. The record now carried everything. The second video, the letter, the vow, proof set in pixels and voice. Nothing more was needed. By dawn, the nation woke to a single headline. Under the lights, Barron Trump brought down. It blazed across diner counters, phone alerts, subway screens. Cable networks ran the clip on repeat. Jasmine, in the white glare. The fragile envelope, the silence, the final blow. Morning shows turned into tribunals. Late-night comics shelved their jokes and podcasts rushed out emergency episodes. Schools played the footage during homeroom. Teachers dimmed lights and let the silence hang. Students whispered about grandparents who had marched at Selma, asked what an oath really means, counted the seconds of quiet like sacred text. In churches, mosques, barber shops, and union halls, people watched together, elders nodding in recognition, teenagers sharing QR codes that linked to the vow. Pastors and rabbis folded the moment into sermons without changing a single verse. Across living rooms and sidewalks, strangers traded earbuds to replay the silence. Parents texted their kids, "This is yours." Librarians printed the words and pinned them beside John Lewis biographies. Everywhere the headline echoed like a chant. By evening, the country had split along familiar lines, witch hunt or wake-up call, but the ground between those camps glowed with a new certainty. Whether in classrooms, senior centers, or late-night kitchen tables, the clip became a ritual. The lesson settled like rain. Justice needs only one person to stand, and the light will spread everywhere. Commentators replayed the footage like a sacred reel, voices low and reverent. "This isn't theater," one anchor whispered. "It's history." Slow-motion shots of Jasmine Crockett, lifting her chin, filled screens while music swelled. CNN called it, "Where history demanded she stand online." The moment became a wildfire. Twitter flooded with split-screen edits. Barron's early smirk beside his collapse. Jasmine holding the envelope like a torch. Under the lights trended worldwide. TikTok teens looped her vow over hip-hop beats. Grandparents shared the clip on Facebook with stories of marches they'd lived. A 17-second cut of Barron, muttering, "Nobody's perfect stitch," thousands of times, always ended on Jasmine's unblinking stare. Civil rights groups seized the surge. The NAACP demanded voting rights reform. Black Voters Matter rallied on courthouse steps, under banners reading "Permanent Oath." Students at Howard held candlelit vigils while marches flared in Chicago, Detroit, and Memphis. Her words became chants, her vow a rallying cry. Conservative leaders fought back. Senators called the footage a witch hunt. Donors funded ads branding Jasmine a manipulator, and pundits claimed the videos were doctored. But forensic analysts confirmed every timestamp. Hotel logs and eyewitnesses erased doubt. Even right-leaning outlets grudgingly conceded the tapes were real. The country argued everywhere, bars, living rooms, church pews, but conversations kept sliding from Barron's disgrace to Jasmine's promise. "Justice doesn't pick a color," she had said, and the lines seeped into chalkboards, coffee shop signs, and sticky notes on car dashboards. Murals rose in Oakland, reenactments played out in Birmingham classrooms, and strangers passed earbuds on sidewalks just to share the silence. After her words, internationally, headlines called it Selma of the 20. From London to Johannesburg, broadcasters paired drone shots of the Nyenda Pettis Bridge with Jasmine's vow, subtitles carrying her promise across languages and oceans. By week's end, America still argued witch hunt or watershed, but the deeper current was unmistakable. The past had stepped into the present alive in a single envelope, a single vow, and the unyielding silence of a woman who stood under the lights where history had been waiting. Communities carried her words across languages. Truth does not choose a skin color, it only chooses justice. Choirs sang it, students chalked it on boards, and visitors traced it on the stone memorial in Washington. Attempts to discredit the videos collapsed under forensic proof. Each cry of witch hunt, only making the vow louder. Barron became a global cautionary tale, Jasmine a symbol of courage. The lessons spread everywhere. Arrogance can rise, but it will fall, and the sound of that fall is unforgettable.